a hyena pup, a couple of lion cubs, and a meerkat. Friends? Okay, real talk. Hyenas and lions aren't exactly known for getting along, and under normal circumstances, a meerkat would merely be a snack for these guys. No, this isn't a Disney film. It's Lobi's Predator Park in South Africa. True story. These guys met when they were just babies. Kala arrived as an orphan after her mom was caught in a farmer's trap. Safari and Susie were rejected by their mother at birth. And little Pockle here was found wandering alone without his family.
He was very cold. He was almost on the edge of dying, and I pulled him through.
He might not be an apex predator like his pals, but you'd have to tell him that.
I think Pockle thinks he's in charge. He's rough with them, he likes to play, but if they get rough with each other like the lion cubs and the hyena, then he will come in between.
After a couple sad twists of fate, rather than hunt each other, these would-be foes would sooner share a plate. At least when Pockle has his way.
When he's hungry, he will turn around and push his butt towards them. So he's pushing them out of the way so he can eat first. And they must be submissive. Yeah, he's the dominant one.
Pockle's become somewhat of an intake coordinator for the sanctuary. When Kala first arrived here alone, it was Pockle who made her feel at home.
Pockle! Pockle! Come, Pockle! Pockle and Kala like to play with each other. Pockle likes to jump on top of Kala's on his neck, or he will clamp down on him and think he can hold him back.
And when activity time rolls around, you can really see the Napoleon complex come out. To stimulate curiosity, the cubs and pup are given large ostrich eggs, and Pockle the much smaller chicken egg. But of course, the little one wants what the bigger kids have. And what Pockle wants, Pockle takes. It won't last long. The orphans are growing fast, and soon their predatory instincts may kick in. Pockle's managed to avoid injuries so far, but Kala is starting to try out her strong jaws, which are designed to crush bones. Once she's full grown, her bite will be 5 times stronger than ours. So just imagine what it could do to a meerkat, even by accident. Meanwhile, the twins will soon be 200 times bigger than Pockle, which means their wrestling days are numbered. In a few weeks, the natural-born predators will be relocated to larger enclosures fit for larger carnivores.
Kala and the lions and Pockle, they all stay together now. They are friends. But when they're a bit bigger, size is going to be a big issue. They need to go back with their own species, so that's difficult for them to be together forever.
Okay, so they're not destined for your typical run-of-the-mill Hollywood ending. But come on, even Disney couldn't script a friendship quite like this. We've all heard man's best friend is a dog, and the same goes for Esme, the rhino. Wait, how's that work? Well, when Esme was only a month old, her mother, a first-time mum, was unable to produce milk.
She didn't quite understand what happened. Why was I taken away from my mother? And then we started bottle feeding her, giving her all the love and attention that we could muster up.
In the wild, baby rhinos rely heavily on their mums for comfort, safety, and to learn to graze. If they're lonely and depressed, rescued babies have been known to refuse food. Esme needed a friend, badly, but unrelated adult rhinos would not bond with her. Enter David.
Come, David. From the first time that they met one another, they were loving towards one another. And it was a match made in heaven for them. Come, David. Come, Esme. Shh, shh, shh. If she was feeling down, David would go and lick her. They were always together, they were inseparable. Come, David. So they basically just grew up together.
A bond truly like no other. They played together for almost a year, but nature caught up with them.
Esme grew a lot faster than David did. She stepped on his foot and he got a bit injured. His back got a bit hurt. We took care of him, he was completely fine again. And then we had to take David away from her.
Esme soon became depressed. Alone again and in need of a new best friend, the center brought in Millie, a young lamb with a herding instinct perfectly suited to hang with a growing rhino.
Esme was a bit scared. She didn't really know what this thing is, and she's used to David. She's always been used to David. So it took us a few weeks to introduce them to one another, and then Esme got used to her.
A year and a half later, as Esme's health improved, their bond continued to grow. But despite their size difference, Millie holds her own at lunchtime.
Millie has a very strong personality. She's a very good companion. She teaches her how to defend herself. I mean, Millie tries to hit Esme with her head, you know, and then basically that would teach Esme how to use her own horn as a defense mechanism against other rhinos or predators.
But some threats are tough to defend against. Esme's been bitten by a snake right between her toes. Until her wounds heal, her movement has to be limited.
Looks like she's crying because she doesn't really want to be confined.
The humans can't make her feel better. But you know who might have an idea? Her old pal, David.
I think this could be a very good distraction for her, having her old friend come back and play with her a bit and give her that love and attention that he normally gave to her. I think it would be very nice for both of them, actually.
It's been some time, but the best of friends pick up right where they leave off.
David, he just loves nibbling on her horn. Probably just tastes very interesting to him. He used to do that when she was little as well. Esme is starting to realize that they are all-time friends. Slowly but surely, Esme is starting to defrost, if you can say that, basically.
Happy and fast becoming healthy again, Esme's sense of home resides in her friendships.
You're with these animals 24/7. You give them the love and affection to get rehabilitated. It's rewarding because it pays off. They walked out and the first instinct was just to run, to be free. She will go back into the wild and live a happy life there.
Until then, she's got her pals to lean on. What are best friends for? Lions and tigers, widely known to be the two top cats of the feline family. In the wild, what you're seeing here is as unlikely a sight as you'll ever see. But at this sanctuary in Georgia, this odd pairing actually came naturally. This is Liberty, an African lioness who arrived here when she was just a year old. Liberty was saved from a private facility where visitors pay to pose for photos with her. Spared from life as a picture prop, her days were about to become far less labor-intensive. But without a family, this gorgeous girl was in need of some company.
She really did need a forever home where she would be safe and not exploited, but we didn't have any other lions for her to live with. And so we were faced with a problem because lions are very social animals and they have to have that pride, that family to live with.
Typically, a pride of lions features about 13 members. Social interaction is a huge part of their development and well-being. Liberty didn't care much for toys or show interest in really anything. To thrive in captivity, she was clearly in the market for a best friend. No one could have predicted that the neighbor next door might be the perfect fit.
Tiger Lily and Liberty lived in separate enclosures right next to each other, so they could see each other, smell each other, kind of get used to each other.
Whoever said curiosity killed the cat never saw a social experiment quite like this.
They would play through the fence. They would rub up against the fence and try and snuggle with each other and touch each other.
Now, make no mistake, pairing two apex predators of different species is not considered good practice, but the staff here have seen it unfold beautifully once before. 15 years ago, the sanctuary took in an oddball band of young friends: Leo the lion, Baloo the bear, and Shere Khan the tiger. Confiscated from a drug dealer who was keeping them illegally as cubs in his house, the team here decided not to break up their gang. And as their story trickled out into the interwebs, the trio became an internet sensation.
They didn't see any differences with each other. They learned the other species' language, and it was really incredible to witness.
Baloo's the only one left standing today, but he acts as a constant reminder that when it comes to finding friendship, anything is possible.
Tiger Lily!
So Allison and her team made the move to give Liberty and Tiger Lily a shot at a proper life together.
Here you go. We were all a little bit nervous just because anything can happen with animals. It was great. There were no issues. Both Tiger Lily and Liberty seemed so happy that there was no longer a fence in between them.
It's not all a cakewalk. Liberty can be a bit grubby when it comes to feeding time. Lions have to compete to feast on their group's kills. But tigers, on the other hand, are solitary hunters and eat at their leisure. So the old girl has no problem letting her young BFF call dibs. They have different interests, sure, and they're at different stages of their lives, so it's not like they need to do everything together. But as you can see, the gift of this otherworldly friendship means a lot to them.
I really think that they will get along just fine for the rest of their lives. Bring it back on up here. Having a companion changed Liberty's life immensely. She would not be nearly as happy today. She wouldn't be as healthy today. You big goofball. Tiger Lily is her pride. It might be a pride of one, but that's her pride.